All right, so Ryan's here. He's got the Ranger over there. We're gonna go do some driving a little bit. He's gonna help me film this, and we're gonna do kind of like an interview. I'm just gonna walk around, point out everything, and talk about what each part is, and hopefully I don't miss anything. If I do, comment below what I missed, and I'll respond to your comment. Cool, let's get going. All right, so we're gonna start on the front of the truck. Okay, first off, front bumper. It's built by Wide Open Customs. These are 3 7-inch HID spot beams, and they are just like a Red Ring HID, generic brand. Same thing with the little LED bars. Now, as far as the fiberglass and the front grille and everything goes, they're just a black housing, normal headlight. I got a billet style grille, 2007 conversion grille with a McNeil front clip. This is their 10-inch front clip with the door extensions. And then we'll go down to the suspension in the front. So I have a custom long travel kit. It is a Blitzkrieg spindle. Brandon at BTF Fabrication, he took his race kit and extended the arms 1 inch per side and then set them up with the Blitzkrieg spindle. Jay at Wide Open Customs put it on the truck and did the steering and got it working. I have Willwood brakes up front. They're the super lights. And then tires are Goodyear Wrangler MTRs with Raceline Monster beadlocks, aluminum ring. As far as shocks, I have King 2.5 10-inch dual rate coilovers, King 2.5 10-inch triple bypasses, remote reservoir on both. The coilover reservoirs in the engine bay. Let's move our way back a little bit. So a couple things about the looks of the truck. As far as the paint and stuff goes, I have always had a thing that I just can't stand when somebody has like a super badass truck that's got like $40,000 in suspension, but they won't paint match the glass. It's like you got this super cool truck, blue cab, and then white fenders. It's like, come on, like, just spend the extra like $800 to paint the glass and match the truck. So either way, I had my fiberglass paint matched at Andre's Auto and Paint, local place in town. I'm friends with the manager there. And then as far as my wheels and everything that you see is powder coated, all the little body bolts that match. John at PCI, he painted those for me. The fuel door is just off of eBay. It's just like a little keyless or keyed entry fuel door. And then my stickers that are on here that you can see, these guys right here at Triple Threat Motorsports, another local shop. They are custom stickers, so he actually went and designed and put everything together and made them work, and matched the colors with the wheels, and they came out great. So I'm super happy with those. Inside of the truck, caged by Wide Open Customs. I have NRG bucket seats, Crow 4-point harnesses, an NRG steering wheel with a quick release, which I don't ever even take off, but I could be like the Honda kids that drive down the freeway with their steering wheel hanging out the window. Never actually done that. So yeah, roll cage is 2-inch tubing. It is score legal from what I've been told. 8-point cage. Now the center console is custom. I actually made it. I took some wood and cut it to the shape I wanted, and then I wrapped it in fiberglass and made little cup holders and everything, and yeah, it actually turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Now I do have a stereo in this truck, so I have a touchscreen doubled in, 2 8-inch subwoofers in the back, all JL competition door speakers. I got power based tweeters. I mean, as far as the off-road truck goes, it's a pretty good system. It sounds good, nice and clear. I didn't go crazy with like giant subs like a lot of other cars I've built, but yeah, it's cool and it sounds good. And nothing is broken on the stereo stuff, which is kind of cool because of all the rattling. I'd expect like an amplifier or something to go out, and the stereo's like 4 years old, so it's pretty good. Now moving along to the back. So the bed cage is built by Wide Open Customs also. Now as far as the light rack on the back goes, they are just little LED pods, and then each one has different covers. So the 2 on the outside are tied into my brake lights, and those are just red, like a clear vinyl. And then the middle is orange for a dust light, and then the 2 others are white, and those are just like work lights, so if it's nighttime I can get into the spares, whatever I need to do. Now as far as the rear end is set up over here, the tire rack in the back here is actually one of the first things I ever had done to the truck. It's one of the only things that is still originally built on it. So my friends in high school, their company was DNC Designs. They built the rear bumper and they built this tire gate. And the way it works is it swings open and you can mount it backwards. So before my truck got built this far, I was taking my dirt bike and stuff still to the track, and that way I could still fit my bike in the back with a spare tire. And then now I have a second spare also, which is mounted right in front of it, and Wide Open Custom set that up. As far as the rear suspension goes, I have 2.5 race series King triple bypasses, Deaver G50 race pack, and custom shackles and hangers that are set up by Wide Open Customs as well. And the rear glass is the McNeil 10-inch fiberglass, and it's their like trophy truck style. So it's actually like 14 inches from the width here, but they call it the 10-inch glass. I think it's because it's 10 inches wider than stock. Now, as far as the rear axle goes, it's a Curry 9-inch big bearing housing, and I had it trussed and tabbed. So it's actually tabbed and ready for 4-link, and then trussed to be stronger, obviously. I have a strange third member with a strange spool, 513 gears, and 35 spline axles, disc brakes in the back also. Lights, a lot of people ask about the lights. The rock lights that I have underneath the truck in here, which it's daytime so you can't see them, but there's strips, and then there's 3 little LED pods on each little section, and there's 10 of them per side, and the brand is actually Samsung. You can buy them online. I think it's like 25 bucks for a strip of 10 of them. At the end of this video, after this little section that I did right here talking about everything, I'm gonna do a question and answers. I asked on Instagram what everybody wants to know, so I'm gonna read through, and I am actually gonna answer every single question on that picture. I think it's like 1 o'clock right now. I'm gonna give it till like 4 or 5, and then I'm gonna sit down and actually read through every single question, and then we'll edit it all, put it together, and probably have this video out tomorrow. But of course, I'm sure everybody's wondering what engine's in this truck and why don't I have a V8, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it is a stock 3.0 V6. The exhaust is just cut off behind the cats. So I mean, it's basically just straight pipe behind the cats. Nothing special. I don't want to put any money into this motor because I plan to V8 swap it. I'm going to do a LQ9 or an LS2, which is the LQ9 is just the cast iron, like the Vortec version of that engine. If you've been following my other projects, I have a 350Z also, and that car has to be back together before I pull the engine out of this, because I have to have something to drive, because right now this is my daily, and my Z is supposed to be my daily, but like I said, if you're following that build, you know already, it is quite a long way away from being finished. But yeah, so the next upgrade to this will be a V8, and then I'm going to 4-link it, do 37s, hopefully. You know, it never ends. So it's filthy, but like I said, stock engine cage was built by Wide Open Customs. It goes through the firewall into a connecting bar across where my A-pillar connects into that, and everything ties together. King reservoirs are up top, and that's basically it. So I will go through all the questions and read those guys, probably start that in about 10 seconds. And yeah, again, if I didn't cover something you wanted to know, comment below, and I'll respond to your comment. So cool. All right, so like I said before, I asked on Instagram people to comment and ask questions, and I'm going to be answering them. So we're going to try to go through this quick, but I am going to get to everybody's questions. So how we're going to do this, I'm going to read the person on Instagram's name, and then she's going to read me the question, I'm going to answer it. So we're going to start at the top of the list, and the first person who commented is Casey_Richter.
What kit do you have?
Okay, well I kind of already answered that in the previous part of the video, but short and sweet, it's a Blitzkrieg spindle with BTF upper and lower arms, and yeah.
Okay.
So next person is Adrian_Taco Yoda.
No one will ever ask you this, but what air freshener do you run?
I usually get the ones from AutoZone that come in like a little can, and you like pop the top off of them.
Okay.
So, let's see, Johnny Hyde 040.
How much money is into your truck?
Okay, I get this all the time. I bought the truck for $6,000, and that was stock. And I probably have between 25 and 30 grand into it now, not including buying the truck, of course. So probably between 25 and 30. Khalilster.
What's your shaft size?
It says shock, that is. I don't know, I'd say it's about the average size.
Okay.
All king shocks come with it. Alright, Marksman 449.
How old were you, and how did you afford your upgrades?
Okay, I was probably 17?
You were 16 when
16?
you bought the truck.
So I was 16 when I got it. And all through high school I worked at a bicycle shop, and I live at home, so I just saved as much as I could. And I did have bills like insurance, phone payment, that kind of thing. But aside from that, pretty much all my money went into my truck, and yeah, that's how it happened. So next person is Valdez Crew.
When are you going to get a V8?
Another one that gets asked all the time. That is actually my next upgrade I'm doing to my truck. So as soon as I get my Z back together and running to where I have something to drive while the truck is down, I'll be doing probably an LQ9, so 6.0 Chevy engine. So. Next person, Logan 117.
What tires and wheels do you run, and who did your fenders?
Okay, tires and wheels I mentioned before, Goodyear Wranglers, Raceline beadlocks, and my fenders are made by McNeil Racing. I did all the body work to make them like smooth, and then I also mounted them myself, and then a local shop in town called Andre's Auto Body and Paint painted them for me. So next person, Bree, is it Bree Bonning?
Bry.
Bonning.
Who did your cage, and what's the next biggest thing for your truck?
Okay, Wide Open Customs built the cage, and like I just said, the V8's next. So next person, C Easy.
I would like to know what the bolt size is on your left rear shock.
That's Christian.
I know.
Oh, okay. It's a good size. Okay. Fernando VR.
Could you show us your audio system, and how do you install those LED bars on the rear, and how it works?
Okay, I kind of filmed already, like where they're at, sort of, and the stereo kind of mentioned it too. I think we actually have some footage of me playing music while we were at Harbor Freight too. And put a little bit of that in there. And as far as how it works, the rear red pods are tied into my brake lights, so they come on with the brake lights, and then the orange light in the middle and the two white lights on the sides are just toggle switches in the truck. So, next one, Daniel Herrera.
What exhaust are you running, and how does your interior look?
Exhaust is literally just cut off behind the cats, so it's basically straight piped with the cat still on it. Like I said before, I'm not putting any money into this power, like the drivetrain for engine wise, and it's not worth it. And my interior, I showed some of it earlier in the video, so hopefully that was good enough for you. Next person, let's see here, was it W. Rickle 94?
Why Rickley?
Why Rickley? I don't know.
Why Rick Kyle?
Yeah, something Kyle.
What's your goal with the truck, bro? And does it make girls wet?
My goal with the truck, so long-term goals, V8, 4-link, 37s, maybe even 39s, and I want to race it. So someday I'll be racing it, and then more importantly, just go out and have fun and drive it, you know?
Well, does it make girls wet?
Does it make girls wet? I don't know, does it?
Okay, next question.
Alright, you.
Who?
You.
Darcy
Milligan.
What lift kit do you have? I want to build a truck just like yours, so can you tell me your mods list, please?
Yeah, watch this video, and then you'll see my mods list.
What lift kit do you have?
It's not a lift kit, bro.
Okay.
Alright, next, Andy 4848.
How hard is it to install that body, and when are you putting an LS in that thing?
Okay, I already answered the LS question.
No, you didn't. You said when.
I did, after the 350Z is done. Okay. So, and it was a little difficult getting the body panels to line up, yeah, because of the way that the door opens into the front fender, which I showed a video in that, or part of the video earlier too. So a little bit difficult, but I mean, I did it myself, so it's not that hard.
Okay.
Okay, next. Shreddy 91. Oh wait, hold on, I skipped
Oh,
someone.
yeah.
Be Brad.
Be rad. What gears
rad,
do you
my bad.
have in the rear?
513s, which I think I mentioned that before too. So now Shreddy 91.
How much horsepower?
Man, I'm making like a full
40.
like a full 150 at the crank. Much needed V8. If we haven't gone over that already. Okay, Carlisle.
Suspension.
I'm sure you already got it all from the beginning of the video. If there's anything
Okay.
specifically, comment below and I'll get back to you. So, OCOR Drew. It's Andrew.
Drew.
Yeah.
Seat mounts. How are you 8'6" and comfortable in a Ranger?
Okay, so as far as the seat mounts go, my seat is more or less mounted on the floor. So there's about I think it's a 1-inch tube that has the mounts welded to it it's sitting against the floor of the truck. And then it's a really low bucket that sits right on top of that. And yeah, it's pretty low, but even with the 2-inch cage, I got probably 3 inches of headroom and works. So, let's see, error 337.
When the V8 and or 4-link?
Okay, well the V8, like I said, after the Z goes back together, and the 4-link, as soon as I get the V8 done. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to read this whole one. So
Okay.
Matt Damron, which is one of my best friends from high school. So the biggest mod is the removal of the rubber fist on the driver's seat. Says, yo man, I'm coming home for a week, so let's kick it. Which we definitely will, my man.
Okay.
Now let's go down to, what is that, Shammy Smith?
Who did your roll cage?
Answered that already. Wide Open Customs. Let's see. 3L Elvis R3. Is that what it is? Elvis RC?
Would you ever consider getting a mini me? Not me, but the truck.
Absolutely. Especially the stuff you build, dude. I've seen a lot of the little RC cars you made. They're badass. I'd love to have one. But right now, money's got to go towards the V8 and stuff. But definitely in the future, I might be interested in getting one. Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Bruce 96.
I think he was replying to my question. Is it a rough, or it's a rough country super jacker upper lift kit with 5.5-inch wheel spacers? Duh. Okay.
All right, Fredster.
Tips on how to get sponsors.
Honestly, I don't really have a good way to answer that because I mean, I've gotten some discounts and stuff. I do have like a few small sponsors like Triple Threat Motorsports for my stickers on my truck, and then Buggy Whips hooked me up with a LED whip. But really, I mean, I had to build the whole truck from the ground up with no sponsors, and it was just a matter of kind of getting myself out there first, and then once I got it out there, now that I have a truck and stuff that's somewhat established, I mean, it's a little easier to get sponsors. And the way I'm going to approach it in the future is, I mean, show what I can do for the company and how I can benefit them, and then I mean, of course, just advertise and run their products and put a good word out for the company. So.
Okay.
All right, next. Gillis RT.
Is it a trophy truck? Why doesn't it have a V8?
It's definitely not a trophy truck at all. It's if anything, it's technically probably like Class 2000 legal. And it doesn't have a V8 because I can't afford it right now. Okay, Connor.
Where to start? Get a truck. You gotta get a truck.
Get a truck.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Trevor N9.
Where did you get your front bumper from?
Wide Open Customs built it. So I said that before too. Filthy F100.
What mods do you have in the interior, and how does the D-Relief springs handle?
Oh, that's actually Pablo J2, sorry.
Oh.
Mods on the interior, like I showed before, bucket seats, harnesses, roll cage, steering wheel, blah, 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 yeah. And as a daily driver, the noise doesn't bother me because, I mean, really on the roads and stuff, it doesn't even make any noise. It just sounds like a normal truck. It's only makes clicking and squeaking noise and stuff when you're actually driving in the dirt. So, now, Filthy F100.
Rear end and width.
Okay, so rear end, like I mentioned before, is a Curry 9-inch. I believe it's like 77 inches mounting point to mounting point. My actual track width with the wheels that I'm running which are a -40 offset, puts me at 88.5 inches tire to tire. So that's pretty wide for a Ranger. And the next guy, let's go.
I think you just answered that question.
Oh yeah, Ranger Runner.
Ranger Runner. Does the noise of everything bother you as a daily driver? I think.
Yeah, I just answered that.
Okay, next.
Let's see, Derek Thoma? Derek? Sorry, I don't. Yeah. I might be getting that wrong.
Cage ties in to the frame. Do the trophy truck windshield bars dead end?
Oh no, yeah, they don't. The A-pillar from the top down through the dash. There's another bar that it connects to in the back, which ties into the engine cage and drops down to the frame as well behind the dash. So, Ainsley.
Where'd you get those mirrors? Those mirrors are sick.
I think she's mentioned that before in a different video, or a different picture, I mean. And the mirrors are still stock, so they came on the truck. Mama Bear, that's my mom.
How much do you love your mom? Hashtag get this thing out of my driveway.
I love my mom, and
it's staying.
It's actually not in her driveway right now. It's out front.
Okay, next.
Let's see. Jay Lafferty.
What are the axles you used?
They are Curry 35 spline axles. Curry Enterprises is the brand.
All right, you got to read this next one.
Chris, do you eat ass?
Don't answer that. Next.
Not gonna answer that. That's a little weird. Okay, EV Mags 25.
Are you going to replace the leaf springs with coilovers?
I'm assuming that would mean like four-linking it, and yeah, eventually I will be replacing them with trailing arms and four-link.
Ooh, this is a good one. The next one.
Next is Joe Henry.
First ever mod on your truck.
First ever mod on my truck. You know what? It's it's actually a billet grill. The very first thing I bought for my truck was a billet grill off of eBay.
I remember that.
And it's the exact same one that's still on my truck. And yeah. And then after that I did a lift kit, wheels and tires. But the first thing was a billet grill. So let's see. Next, Hi May.
What's your rear axle setup, and how'd you go about meeting with companies such as Dirt Alliance and such?
Okay, so I already mentioned the axle, so I'm going to skip over that. Meeting up with companies like Dirt Alliance and such, I just put myself out there and tagged myself, like my photos and stuff, with Dirt Alliance, and then kind of got noticed over Instagram, and I met James, which is the guy who basically runs Dirt Alliance, and he kind of welcomed me into the group and invited me out to some of the events that they put on, and just been going to as many of them as I can, and it's kind of it. Yeah. Okay. So Nolan Mount.
Who would win? Who would win in a race? A banana or my Jeep?
What?
I think the banana.
Yeah, the banana. All right. Laziness.
Setup of the roll cage.
Like I said before, 2-inch tubing, 8-point cage, through the dash. I mean, seats are mounted. Don't really know what else I can say about it. So, what was it? Ariana
Zali.
Yeah.
How'd you get all the stickers color matched?
So Triple Threat Motorsports is a shop in town, and they actually took I took my truck to them, and then they took the color of my wheel and matched it up with like a color swatch, and then printed them. So they're actually a printed sticker. So next, Woolishly.
Can I have it?
No, I'm sorry. Okay, OG Dave Titan.
Can I drive it? No.
No, sorry. Next is Michael Dawn. Michael A. Dawn? Michael A. Dawn. I like that. Michael A. Dawn.
When is the 4-link coming?
In the future.
After the V8.
Yeah. So, F is for Ford.
My Ranger has too much negative camber in the front wheels. How do I make it a bit more positive?
That's actually a good question. Depends on what kind of kit you have, if it's long travel or if it's stock, what. But usually your upper control arm would be mounted on like a sliding rail, and you can usually slide them in and out to adjust the camber. It just loosen up the top two bolts, and like I said, either in or out, whichever you need. It just depends on what you have as far as control arms. So, Tyler Cavallo.
Your door handles, mine keep breaking. What aftermarket ones do you have?
What a dork. That's another one of my really good friends. Yeah, and I think he's making a joke because both of mine have broken, and my passenger side one is still broken because I don't get in and out of that side, so
they're stock.
But yeah, no, the ones I bought metal ones off of eBay, and the one that I did replace hasn't broken yet. So, Mr. Tacoma.
You should put an LED light bar on it.
Sorry, dude, no light bar for me. I'm Chris.
This is a good question.
Actually, is a good question.
How much travel do you have?
Okay, so front makes 18 inches of travel, bumped and strapped. I think the actual kit cycled like 19 and a half before, which doesn't even matter. But usable wheel travel is 18 in the front and about 17 and a half in the rear. So, the Strange Man.
Did you do an engine swap, and if you could, what engine was it?
If you did.
If
no,
you did, sorry.
It's still stock, which I'm sure you have gotten at this point in the video. Ted.
Dude, you have so many flashlights on the front. I bet they go far when you turn them on.
Another one of my good friends. Sorry. Okay, so Sheebs.
How much money did your front suspension total out to price-wise, and what do you recommend for an IFS?
I'm not exactly sure how much the front end costs by itself because I did everything together. But if I had to guess, I mean, between like everything, engine cage installation, the kit, the brakes, like all of it, probably somewhere between like 10 and 15 grand.
For the front?
From like firewall forward, yeah.
Okay.
And as far as recommendations for independent front suspension, A-arms I like, but I mean I-beams are really good too. So it depends on what your truck has now. And yeah, I mean, if whatever you have now, just upgrade what you got. I mean, it's usually the easiest. So, okay, and the last one we're gonna do is Burt Dog.
Have you ever regretted building a Ranger instead of building another truck, or going to a 3.0 instead of the 4.0? We got like 30 seconds
Going
left.
with the 3.0. Okay, yeah, really good question actually. No, I don't regret building my truck at all. If I would have built anything else, it wouldn't have been a Ranger. It would have been probably like a Silverado or something that would fit more people. The only thing I don't like about my truck is that it only sits 2 people. So you can't bring any friends with me. It's just me and one friend. And as far as the engine goes, I don't really care that it's not the 4.0 because I'm going to put a V8 in it either way. Even if it was a 4.0, I'd still V8 swap it. So, yeah.
All right.
Well, that's all the questions. It was a lot longer than we thought, so sorry the video is so long.
If you have any other questions, just comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends. He's still jumping over my car, but we're just trying to find a place.
So basically what we're looking at as far as the jump goes, our buddy Wes, who you guys have seen in our videos before, he just bought a house in Roseman, and his whole backyard's dirt. He said there's already a bunch of dirt there, so I think we may borrow a buddy's tractor and actually build a jump in his backyard, and he moves in less than a week. So I'm hoping it's going to come quick. It's just we did not expect to get as many subscribers as we did as fast as we did. So it kind of hit us a lot quicker than we were expecting, but we're going to make it happen. So catch you guys on the next one.